Hello and welcome to our Top of Mind podcast. In this program, we'll sit down with a higher education technology thought leader and discuss the innovative projects they are working on now and into the future. I'm your host, Alex Freeman, Senior Analyst and Director of Membership at the Tambellini Group. I'm joined today by Gordon Wishon, recently retired Chief Information Officer at Arizona State University, Notre Dame, and Georgia Tech. Gordon serves on the Tambellini Executive Advisory Council. Over the next few minutes, we're going to learn more about Gordon's work over his many years as a CIO in higher ed. Let's get started. Welcome to the program, Gordon.
Thanks, Alex. Thank you for the invitation.
Of course. In your 25 plus years as CIO, what would you say is the most important technology-driven change in higher ed?
Well, over the course of 25 years as a CIO in higher ed, of course, I've seen lots of important changes. I was around when PCs first emerged onto the scene and desktop computing. We saw the emergence of ubiquitous networking. Over that time, of course, the development of the learning management system. But I think probably the most important change I've seen over the course of the past, certainly decade, is the emergence of what we would call the data-driven university. That is the effective use of data collected from various sources and used to influence student outcomes principally, but also to improve services, reduce operational costs, and other positive effects.
Yeah, how is data driving operations?
Well, if one thinks about the modern, especially modern research university, and especially those in urban settings, the modern university operates very much like a small city with all sorts of lines of businesses, if you will, generally reporting up to the VP for administration or the CFO. Things like facilities management, energy management, transportation, public safety, housing and hospitality. There are many retail operations on campus, such as the bookstore, athletic operations, food services, and the list goes on and on. And the heads of each one of these organizations are looking for ways to reduce costs and improve services. And increasingly today, each one of these operational elements of our universities is leveraging data to do that. Likewise, our research enterprise is collecting data and leveraging data to help improve their operations and certainly to improve the bottom line for the university.
What about the academic side of the house?
Well, that's been the most important change in my mind, and that is collecting data from multiple sources about students and their performance and their preferences and their activities, and collecting that data from our student information systems, from our LMS, from all sorts of transactional systems across campus, our housing systems, our swipe card data. And applying analytics, advanced analytics, to leveraging this data to influence student outcomes, and in particular student success, the development of early warning systems and intervention systems that allow us to focus on individual students and to develop an understanding of what makes each student successful or perhaps fail to succeed.
Great. How do you see the use of data evolving over the coming years?
Well, as I've mentioned, we've already begun collecting data from multiple sources. What I see happening is an explosion of sources of data that could be leveraged across the institution as we apply more and more technologies such as the Internet of Things and machine learning to not only our academic operations, but enterprise operations across the university. Our facilities vice president is actively pursuing building information management systems, for example, that would allow them to leverage analytics to perform predictive maintenance to reduce the cost of their operations and to help with energy management and water conservation. Our transportation organizations are beginning to look at such things as autonomous vehicles, but also just making more effective use of the fleets of vehicles that they have in place today, and capturing information on the use of each vehicle, and to allow for better scheduling of those vehicles and better utilization of those vehicles. In this way, there's the potential for substantial savings on the operational side of the institution, as well as improving services. So I see multiple sources of data being utilized and exploited by various operations across the institution, academic operations, research operations, and others across the business enterprise to ultimately improve services to students, to faculty, to staff, as well as to focus more closely on student outcomes.
Thanks for chatting with me today, Gordon. Any last words of wisdom to share with your colleagues about preparing their organizations to support a data-driven university?
Well, with the massive amounts of data that we're going to be asked to support and the huge number of data sources that are likely to be added to the portfolio of data, we're going to have excellent data governance practices in place, data use and security and protection of that data. Privacy policies are obviously going to have to be enhanced. Ultimately, we're going to have to build a data architecture, an underlying data architecture that supports not only the storage, but the management and movement of the data from multiple sources, and delivering analytics capabilities to the campus will become increasingly important. I think it's safe to say that the IT organization will never be able to provide all of the analytics that be asked by the institution. And so developing data services, reporting, and analytics capabilities that can be consumed by members of the university community, whether in operations, research, or in the academic enterprise, will be increasingly important. Self-service analytics is something that seems to be emerging and may be the answer. Finally, the integration across multiple data sources and multiple systems that are delivering these data will be important, because I think that we're going to see requests arrive for single pane of glass views into multiple data sources, particularly on the operations side, but also on the academic side. If our goal is to positively influence student outcomes and create a unique educational experience for every student that attends the institution, we're going to need to have a much better understanding of each student. And that may mean collecting data from multiple sources to develop this 360-degree profile of a student that will allow us to become much more effective at identifying at-risk students and helping those students succeed.
All right, thank you. To wrap up today's program, I want to thank Gordon on behalf of the Tambellini Group. If you have any questions about what you heard today or want to learn more about Tambellini membership, please reach out to me at alex.freeman@thetambellinigroup.com. Thank you all for joining us today.